Colts reporting to training camp today. We got a chance to catch up with some of them. One of those, Zaire Franklin. Zaire Franklin just exudes leadership, exudes enthusiasm. I like Zaire Franklin. I like the kind of swagger that he's bringing to this thing, and that he understands that coming off 4-12-1, that doesn't mean that 4-12-1 is a fait accompli this year. They got to get to work every single day and somehow be better. I like what he had to say.
I don't know. I'm just super excited. I think we got, a lot to prove. We got, for myself personally, just, trying to not only follow up on a good year, but take it further than that. I just felt like, I got a whole nother level and a whole nother step I want to take, not only on the field, but in the locker room, off the field and stuff like that. So, just blessed to have another opportunity, another season. And then as far as a team, man, it's similar, a lot to prove. A lot of guys, who know who they are in this league, who want to maintain that standard. A lot of guys who, got a lot of opportunity, who want to step up. So, that's what camp is all about, and let's get to it.
Last year, coming off last year, you feel like it's kind of a chance to look yourself in the mirror as a man? And not you, but I'm talking about 53 guys. I mean, you just kind of alluded to that, right? The guys have to kind of check themselves and realize, you're fighting for your job every day out here.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of the NFL. You got to prove it every year, every week. It's not really about, who you're supposed to be. It's about who you are and who you consistently show who you are every day, every week. So, look, man, you're only good as your last performance. Last one wasn't great, but look, we all 0-0, so let's get to it.
So you're with the way last year went, with going into all that stuff, new head coach and a rookie quarterback perhaps, not a lot of expectations outside. Do you pay attention, or is it, hey, we'll show you?
It's funny. I was just telling my fiance, I'm like, it's hilarious because the NFL is obviously full of narratives. The narratives change every week. We didn't came in here and I done stood here when we had a lot of expectations and not lived up to them. Now we have no expectations. So it's just kind of like, again, you only get as your last performance. If they're not talking about us, they'll be talking about it soon. I'd have been sitting in a cafeteria and been ranked 32 by ESPN, and then 5 weeks later we the best team in the NFL. So it doesn't really matter.
Does that make it more fun though, or do you guys get to be more loose? Or?
Oh, no question. You got to enjoy the ride now. That's like I said, it's the beauty of NFL. You get to make your own storyline every week. So, just looking forward to, playing that flag week 1 against Jacksonville.
You touched on wanting to grow both on and off the field. What are some things in the locker room that you're hoping to build upon and become a better leader?
That's a good question. Honestly, really just, with a younger team, it's weird now, like being year 6, I know that's not old, but I feel like after year 5, you kind of on just the other side of it a little bit. So I don't know. That's how I see it. But, we got a lot of young faces, a lot of new guys in the building. Just want to, show them the standard of which we brand ourselves in football, show them how we want to carry it, show them how we want to be a teammate. First off, just lead by example, help the guys along, and, be that light and that helping hand to the young guy that was in a position that I might have been in, whether that's trying to earn his way on the team, whether that's trying to be a difference maker on defense or special teams. So just really just going out my way to try to help the guys, and help the team along in this process.
Do you feel like you're older because of the fact that the year you had last year is now you can talk to younger players about what it's like to become a starter and accomplish some of those things?
Well, yeah, in the NFL, credibility is everything. So, even when I was making a lot of plays and I was a, leader and, a difference maker on the field, but, in the special teams role, it was certain things that maybe I wouldn't have been able to really touch on or really speak about. But, now after having that experience last year, it gives me, just more credibility because I could show them look, this is what my hard work has resulted into this. So I guess maybe they'll listen more, hopefully, but, we'll see.
Is there any pressure at all, in a good way, when you have the kind of year you had last year? Because now you have to, that's your bar now, right? Is there anything there?
Pressure, I don't, pressure is whatever you make it. I put pressure on myself every day to come out here and compete and make a difference every single time I step on the field. If I come out here and practice and, I feel like I'm not showing that, I'm a guy, then I feel like I got to step up, I got to do something more. So I don't necessarily look at that pressure. I look at it as, look, that's what it looked like when I got my first opportunity. And, it was highs, but, it was some lows too. So, I've been watching it, with a crucial eye, with a critical eye, just trying to build on, my mistakes and my errors because I just feel like it's just so much room to grow. So I'm just looking forward to that opportunity this year and, starting off a training camp, and that's the first building block to another great season.
You had a record-setting year last year, but how quickly do you put it in your review and also remember, like, okay, this is what I'm capable of, and I get full opportunity?
Man, it was definitely one of them situations where like learning the league, you got to celebrate yourself. You know what I mean? So if you don't, you at least feel some type of all right, look, at least I accomplished something. I did it. Like I made it. I played every game. I was able to help our defense in a positive way, but at the same time, it's just like, okay, now follow up. One of my mentors, Bobby Wagner, he always tell me, look, anybody can have one good year. He said a lot of people have had one good year and then disappear. So, I think that's just this little way to kind of push me and motivate me to keep going. So that's really what I'm looking for. But those are the guys I aspire to be like, the guys that, are multiple-time All-Pro, multiple-time Pro Bowl. Those guys are, Ring of Honor, those type of guys that I aspire to be. I don't aspire to be a guy that just, popped in, and had a shine for one time and then just lived off of that for the rest of my career. So I still just feel like this is another level I want to reach to. I got a lot of goals that I got to reach, that I want to reach, and look, I'm doing everything I can to get there.
Based on what you know, do you think Shaq will be ready to go? We'll ask Shaq,
we'll be the first day without a Shaq question, but look, man, I saw him in Tampa in passing a couple times. We was in different groups, man. He was in great spirits. I know, like I said, I know he's doing everything he can to get back. Far as I know, that's out of my control. That's with the training room and with with Shaq and his thing. But to be honest, I've watched this dude, not do any OTAs and do 1 week of training camp and then lead the NFL in turnover. So I mean, wouldn't be the first time, So he's a special player. So once he step on that field, we all know what it is. So.
Last question here. You've been a leader in the locker room for a long time. Is that something that specifically you can help Anthony Richardson with, just navigating as he?
Yeah, I mean, I think, leadership is to everybody's personal style, I know how my personality is and, what that fits in, how that fits in with, guys in the locker room and how I have to interact with people, Anthony's got to, develop his own style, but I think, having, guys in the locker room like myself, DeForest, Grove, Buck, JT, having those type of guys in the locker room definitely gives him, good examples to follow behind Quentin, obviously. And you got to learn from example. I think in my opinion, the best leaders are the best followers. So as a young guy coming in, with a lot to learn, just following the guys ahead of him and taking by example, I think that'll put him in a good spot.
That's Zaire Franklin. Interesting to hear a little bit of an update about Shaquille Leonard, but not really an update about Shaquille Leonard. Sounds like he's going to start the season on the PUP list, doesn't it? Just kind of has that kind of feel to it. We'll see when we talk to Chris Ballard a little bit later today. But Zaire Franklin, good dude, always fun to catch up.